Unit 2.3.5 is black ink a single color. So if you remember, in the first topic itself we discussed how we can separate the color component from a black ink or a black dye. So in that case the black color was a single color, but what happens sometimes the ink that we use are actually is a mixture of two different colors. For example, if we talk about orange, say orange is a mixture of red and yellow pigments. Red and yellow colors, when they are mixed together, it forms orange. So suppose you are given an orange color sample and you are asked to separate out the orange pigments from the ink. So how you are going to separate it? In that case, if you are going to use that particular method that we have used in the first place today, the evaporation one, then what will happen? The water will evaporate, but you will be left only with this particular orange pigment. But this orange pigment is actually composed of red and yellow, and we need to separate out each of these red and yellow pigments separately. Okay? But if you use the process, the evaporation method, you will be left with the orange pigment. You are not going to get different red and different yellow pigment. So what method we have to use in order to separate all the components in a mixture? In that case we use chromatography. We use the method of chromatography. So what is chromatography? Try to understand. So just like we talk about the orange color, the orange pigment is a mixture of red and yellow. That was just an example to make you understand. But in actual, the black ink or the dye which actually I am using here, or you are using your pen in your pen, is actually a mixture of different color of different dyes. So there are actually more than one component which are being used, correct? So if we are to separate each of the components present in the black ink, what method we will use? We will use chromatography. So when two or more solid is dissolved in same solution, this method is used. Just like our black ink. As I said, this black ink is actually a mixture of different type of dyes, different colors. So in that case, if we are to separate each of the components of the black ink, we will use this chromatography method. So chromatography, as the name suggests, this chroma means color. So chromatography is a method in which we can use to separate the colors or the different kind of solids which have different colors. So this chromatography is somehow related with the word chroma or color. So basically there are more than one types of chromatography. We have paper chromatography, we have column chromatography, like this. But in this chapter, since you are in class 9 only, our main focus should be only on the paper chromatography. So in this chapter we will discuss mainly on how paper chromatography is done and what is the basic principle. So this is paper chromatography. This is a piece of filter paper which you have cut in this shape. So filter paper is a piece of paper which is used for the purpose of filtration. So in our school lab we have filter paper. Later on I will show you how a filter paper looks and some images of how this blank ink chromatography or paper chromatography looks like. I will give this in the group itself. It will be given in the group. You can take a reference. You can see how it looks. So first of all, see here we have a piece of paper, filter paper, which is cut in this shape, and we have a tall jar here, and above the jar we have a glass rod, and with this glass rod, with the help of a thread or a sellotape, this piece of filter paper is attached here. Now if you see in the filter paper, there is a black spot here. Now see, after cutting this filter paper in this shape, a line will be drawn in this filter paper so that we can monitor the position of the black spot. Now after drawing a line here, small black spot will be given here. After drawing a line with help of a pencil, we will just use a small drop of black ink here and place it here. Now this filter paper will be dried for some time so that this black ink, it dries completely. All the water have to be evaporated. So we have to dry it until this black ink or the black spot completely dries. And after drying this, we will take this filter paper and with the help of a thread or a sellotape, we will suspend this filter paper in the jar so that the lower portion of the filter paper is submerged in water. So for that purpose, this jar will be filled with water in this level, to the half level, so that only the lower portion of this particular filter paper is submerged. Okay. So now what we will do? Now since this lower portion, the lower portion of this filter paper is submerged in water, the water from this jar will slowly start to rise because of an important action, an important phenomena called capillary action. Due to this capillary action, water from this jar will climb all the way up to this top of this filter paper. Okay. Now I told you that this black ink is actually a mixture of different colors, different dyes, and each of these different components or the different dyes will have different solubility in water. For example, this black is a mixture of say violet, blue and some other dyes. So each of these different dyes will have different solubility in water. So as the water rises, that component which is highly soluble in water will dissolve in water first and it will start climbing with the water. Next component say has lower solubility than the first one. It will dissolve in water lately and then it will also travel along with water. But this second component will be below the first component because the first component is highly soluble in water. So let's assume that the water is continuously rising and this black pigment, which is actually a combination of different dye, different color, is also climbing with the water. So this along with the water will start climbing up to the top. Say the water has climbed to this point, although it can go all the way up to here, but we are assuming that the water has reached this point only. So this black dye is somehow now looks like this. I will send you some clear photographs in the group so that you can see what happens in a paper chromatography. So if you see, then that color or that component which is highly soluble will be placed somewhat here at the top. That substance, that color which is slightly less soluble will be just below this, and you will get a series of different colors, say violet, say blue, say other color like this. You will get a series of different spots, and this spots tells us that how many colors are actually mixed in a particular solution. So there will be a picture, there will be some reference pictures which will be given in the group itself, from where you can get a collective idea how it looks like. These are the applications. Separate solution of colored substance, just like the experiment that we have discussed, separation of dyes and pigments like this. So separate solution of colored substance, point number 1. Point number 2, in forensic science, you know what is forensic science? So that science which is involved in the investigation of crime, so which is used in the laboratory. So forensic science. So for example, So for example, finding out the traces of poisons and other substances involved in a crime. And point number 3, separating products in chemical reaction. So these are the applications of chromatography, especially paper chromatography. The other type of chromatography, which is column chromatography, you will study in higher classes. You have to study about column chromatography in higher classes. Okay.